In the next 14 minutes, I would like to talk to you about leveraging artificial intelligence to scale up your business. As Robert was saying, I am indeed an AI engineer, so this is what I'm doing most of my time. And I would like to give some advice to you on how you can actually scale up your business using it. So I can imagine one main question that people have right now is, why should I even consider AI in my business? And there are so many buzzwords about big data, artificial intelligence, and you seem like this is so far away from our daily jobs. It seems like such unrealistic models and mathematics to use. But I would like first to start by explaining why you should really consider it as a company, no matter what size you are in. So I've brought with me 3 reasons for this. And the first one is that you can really improve your business strategy based on facts. So imagine as a retailer, you can predict how many products should you order, but also how many products you will sell. You can predict how many people are going to enter your shop in the next week, in the next weekend. So based on these facts, so not on your instincts, you can really make decisions to improve your business strategy. A second reason for using AI in your business is actually because you can decrease your business costs by predicting user behavior. So let me give you an example for this. If you're a company that has a call center, a service center where people can call for support, you can actually estimate how many calls you will receive next week or next month or next year, so that you can facilitate the correct number of employees in your call center, but also the correct number of hours that they should work there. Knowing all of these can actually ensure that you decrease your business costs, how many offices should you have open at a specific time, by knowing what your users or customers will do in the future. And lastly, one good advantage of using AI in businesses is actually that you increase your user experience and you offer your customers exactly what they need, but even sometimes without them knowing that they need it. So think about all the big companies, Facebook, Netflix, all of these are giving you the product based on AI, and then you're going to have the feedback that you need from your users. So having these 3 main reasons for why you should use it, today I want to actually go through 3 main ideas that are going to help you leverage AI so that you can really scale up your business. And I'm not just going to focus on the nice models that everyone talks about, but really about 3 essential parts of the whole process that can really bring impact to your company. And I'm going to start with high quality data. I cannot say how important this is, because data is really what fuels your models, what fuels your company. And you can never have better models than the quality of the data you have. So just to give you a bit of context on what I say when I talk about data, the amount of data generated by our society nowadays is truly immense. So imagine that in just 1 minute of our lives, more than 300,000 videos are being watched on TikTok, more than 1 million likes are being offered on Instagram, and even in 1 minute, we have 40,000 hours of videos watched on Netflix. And all these big tech giants are using your data, and they know what you've liked, they know what you have watched and for how long, and they're making use of all this information to give you personalized products. Imagine that only in the last 2 years, more than 90% of all the quantity of data that was ever stored by the humankind was produced. And this is something that doubles every 2 to 3 years. So as you can see, the amount of data is indeed gigantic, but so is the data that lies within your own business, because your business relies on large amounts of data that can provide you, your company, with important insights. And here I want to focus on 2 main things. One, that you have external data, and the second one, the internal data that you possess as a company. So when it comes to external data, it's very important for organizations to look at the trends within the whole industry. Is it the retail sector that is increasing now in consumers, or is it just your company doing really well? And all these trends, also seasonality. Is it a good season for selling these products, or is it in general a good idea to do so? This is something that comes as an important parameter in your AI models. So keeping track of what's happening externally is important, but also the data that you have internally is extremely valuable for your strategy. And that is because there is a famous saying that if you're not already storing data, you're lagging behind. It's very important to know the data of your customers, of your sales, your revenues, your timelines, your providers, because this is something that can really make impact. But now I think you're wondering, okay, Eliza, you're telling me I have to keep so much track of my data, but where should I even keep so much of it? Because as I was saying, we have an immense amount. And there's 3 technologies that you can make use for your data. And those are the private, public, and hybrid cloud. So the private cloud is really a set of servers, a set of computers that you can keep in your own company. So normally small companies can start with the private cloud. So you have to take care of your own servers, and that's where your data will be with the specific requirements you need for it. But secondly, what is now becoming more and more popular is really the public cloud. And what I mean with it, I mean the big providers like AWS from Amazon, the Microsoft Azure services, or Google Cloud Platform. And I want to do a deep dive on what really is this public cloud, because it's not really connected to the sky. We're not talking about clouds in the sky, but we're talking about big data centers, as you can see in the second image on this slide. The size of an airport terminal. So something truly massive that has millions of servers, as you see on the left, with your data. So if you're wondering where are your Instagram pictures, you're probably going to find them in one of those computers on the left. And actually, you might find them in 2 of them, so that Instagram can easily maintain everything and have a backup in case something fails. So the public cloud is something that helps companies to do economies of scale. They give you resources for smaller prices because they can really afford to buy huge amounts of servers. And lastly, you have the hybrid cloud. And this is truly a combination between these 2, and something that you can use to migrate data from your on-premise service, the private clouds, to the public one when demand is really high. So we've talked about the data that we need. But the second part of really leveraging AI is to think about end-to-end solutions. So everyone, when it's talking about AI, is saying building models. And of course, that is no easy task. You have to build predictive models to predict your revenue next year, but you can also identify patterns in pictures, understand text or speech with neural networks, or even classify if a customer of yours is going to churn next year or not, and use this in your process. But the quantity of models that is estimated for 2021 is actually 17 billion models. So I guess you can imagine that not only we need people working full-time for it, but we need a whole organization of people working full-time for developing models. And I can imagine for a smaller company, this is really a challenge. How can you really accommodate so much knowledge and so many full-time employees to do it? So I have one trick for you, and that is indeed making cloud providers, cloud technologies, your best friends if you try to start using AI models within your business. So how you can do it is by using already developed and pre-trained models that exist in the cloud. So the only thing left for you to do is really to just upload your data there, hopefully the high quality data, and then use the most popular models that are already pre-trained within Azure, AWS, or Google Cloud. And I'm also sure there are many other providers. So this can be an advice for everyone that didn't yet use models or AI in their business and wants to give it a shot. And if you see it's working well, then you can really think about investing in a data science team that can help you do very specific models for your business. But as I was saying, you need to do end-to-end solution. It's not just about the models. So how can you really make a difference? And that is actually by integrating your model in the business process. And of course, everyone wants to have nice application that shows you exactly the output and people can change it. But we have to be realistic. We have to start small. So you can always start with an Excel spreadsheet, that is updated every day with the models for your customers. Are they going to sell tomorrow? Are they going to buy something tomorrow? And then you can go into more visually appealing dashboards where they can actually filter on things and have more interactivity from the models. And then for a company that really wants to take advantage, I would say that you can go into doing an AI application, where people can actually give feedback to your models and you can retrain them so they become smarter and smarter. But also the users of it, your business stakeholders, can easily see what the mathematics behind it said without having to think really about, is it a neural network? Is it a regression model? So the key learning for end-to-end solutions is really integrate them in the business process. Don't just focus on building the best model, the best prediction, but really making a change in the process. And that leads us to the third idea that I want to share with you. And that is really, okay, I have high quality data. I have created an end-to-end solution, but you have to be ready for fast iterations. Technology is growing at an unprecedented pace. So we cannot really have a final solution, a perfect solution anymore. And we have to be ready for that and be ready for fast change. So to give you also a bit of context on the growth of the technology nowadays, we have more than 1 million and 1.35 million technology startups that are working every day to give you better and better solutions, technologies for your own case. So that means that something that you used 2 months ago might be actually now outdated. There is a new, a faster technology that you can use that can improve the speed, the storage capacity of your whole system. And also, in the next couple of years, 70% of all the technology spending is expected to go to cloud solutions. So, as you remember, we have the public cloud that is helping you doing all of this. And something that is very scientific, we have a law that says that computing processing speed doubles every 1.5 years. And this was something published in Nature a couple of years ago. But what we see right now is that is actually unrealistic. It's even faster than that. So then how can you really iterate fast? You have to consider from the beginning that your solutions have a limited lifespan and you should be continuously improving them. So first of all, be prepared to change it. I would say that every 3 months you have to improve it, and every 2 years your solution really changes from scratch. Secondly, you can only do this by continuously monitoring the performance and usage of it. Do your users actually read the model, the output of your models? And this is something you should monitor. And lastly, I cannot stress how important this really is, so that you ask your users, your customers, for feedback. Did they sell more? Do tests, do surveys, so that you can really see all this computing intelligence, AI, is making an impact in the business. So then we have 3 main ideas about leveraging AI to scale up your business. You need high quality data, you need end-to-end solutions, and also be ready for change and fast iterations. So I'm going to leave you hoping that this talk has been useful for you with some ideas. And also I'm really looking forward to hear how much impact did you make on your customers using AI in the next year. So thank you very much.